But do you have a real job?
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the podcast. It's been a long time, several months since we did a podcast. I've just been really busy doing other things and moving and stuff, as you can see in the background. This is a brand new background, a brand new setup, brand new streaming thing. So thank you so much for sticking around and coming back to the podcast. Today, we have an awesome guest for you again. I'm sure you have seen him before in other podcasts, but we have him back for the first podcast. His name is Jeff. He's an artist called Demi The Daredevil. He's from Austin, Texas, and we have him here to talk to us today. Welcome, Jeff.
What's up?
Yo, thank you for coming again. Dude, I love having you on as like my first person to bring shit back. It's just like the most comfortable fucking podcast. We can just sit here, shoot the shit, and totally, that's that.
Yeah. I've always appreciated how real you are from like the first time I met you. So that's always makes everything, way better.
Always. No, I'll tell you one thing I'm not too happy about is I'm missing YouTubers versus TikTokers boxing right now.
Oh, boxing?
You don't know about that?
I don't.
What? Okay. Well, I'm sure you saw the Logan Paul Floyd Mayweather thing.
Oh, I've been give me what's the update with the whole boxing arena?
Did you not see the Logan Paul thing with
No, I didn't see the Logan. No. Yeah, let's see. Logan Paul. What did he post? Was it somebody saying something controversial? Wait.
Holy hell.
What did he do?
He fought Floyd Mayweather like last week.
And did he win?
No. Well, he says he won. He didn't win. But I didn't even know you didn't know about that. Holy fuck. Where are you living at? Under a rock?
Dude, I mean, I've seen Mayweather in the past. I know his style where he just like waits to strike till like the very end and then he preserves his energy and stuff. But I didn't see anything about this. No, I'm not. This is just boxing, right? Yeah, I guess I don't keep up with it. So what's the latest news?
Well, right now what's happening is there's like a TikToker versus YouTuber boxing event happening where they have TikTokers on one side, YouTubers on the other side, and then obviously they go up against each other. And it's happening right now somewhere. I don't know where. Miami, I think.
That's amazing.
But it's crazy. Yeah. I didn't know you didn't know about that.
No. So is it just one match? I definitely want to watch
that. It's like 6 matches today. Like 6 different TikTokers that versus 6 different YouTubers. Obviously all different matches. But yeah. Did you see
YouTube has been around longer, so maybe they're more worn down with older people.
Yeah. No, it's weird. They're all pretty young. There's one older guy on the YouTuber side. I think he's like 30, but either way, it's just crazy. It's just crazy that YouTubers and TikTokers are boxing, and honestly, like they're making more money than professional fucking boxers.
No way.
Oh yeah. I don't know what Logan Paul made, but estimates are saying he made over $10 million on that Floyd Mayweather fight.
Yeah, that's just a regular boxer salary, right? Compared to
not even close.
I mean, whoever the big dog is, they like take like 80% of whatever they're paying out, right?
Oh yeah,
so it's normal that he's just gonna.
I think Floyd Mayweather made a fucking ton. They said he made close to $100 million. $100
million, yeah.
Like holy hell, man! But normal fighters and like boxers don't get paid that kind of money. They're going in there and actually fighting professionally, and they've been doing it for 10 years, and they'll get paid. Oh, here's $250,000.
No, that's so. There should be a law with that, and just be like, okay, you got to cap it at like at least give them 20% or.
Right, a lot of the UFC fighters are getting pissed. Like Jake Paul is fighting boxers and shit. Logan Paul's fighting them, and they're all making millions. And these other fighters are like, dude, where's my millions? I'm not making millions.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wait, was this like, because I've heard about that other dude. I'm blanking on his name, but he's like a total badass with UFC, and he fought Mayweather too.
Oh yeah, Conor McGregor.
Yeah, McGregor. Yeah, I saw that.
Yep.
So is that that's like a trend where UFC is going to boxing just to?
Well, I think it's the YouTuber thing. I'm mostly thinking that's like YouTubers are now boxing.
Okay, like legit boxers, not
right.
Okay.
Well, sort of to a degree. Logan Paul fought the only real boxer so far, Floyd Mayweather. Jake Paul has fought a couple of has-beens, an NBA player, maybe it was NFL, I don't remember. But either way, it's just crazy to me that YouTubers are are fighting in a ring for millions of dollars, and they're making more money than actual boxers. And boxers and everybody's getting pissed. Like, they're not real fighters. They're not doing anything for real. They're not real fighters. I'm like, I don't know. They're fighting and making money.
This reminds me of I don't kind of like the tie of Uber drivers and taxi drivers. So it's like they're not. I mean, I don't know if they're saying we're not real drivers, but it's just the internet and like these apps and like just all the access, the tools that we have access to. We're just gonna like, take out the big corporate systems, or,
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy that the taxis are like, these people can't do this. They have an app and they're in their own car and this and that. It's like, fuck these Uber drivers and Lyft drivers and all these other drivers. But yeah, it's like, it's kind of like the new thing in town, where it's like, oh, who's that? How are they doing that? It's like the new thing, and people are all jealous and pissed off about it. And then it just becomes a norm. It's weird.
Dang, yeah, I know. It's just weird times we're living in. I feel like the internet has just like totally undermined like every system, like everything. I feel like about like crypto. Like I feel like that's going towards like taking out like major banks that have been kind of like corrupt, or they're taking control over things, or like education, like universities, they'll just sell courses on iTunes for like $1, or like the degrees
Right.
don't matter as much because the internet. It just goes down the list. The music industry, the e-commerce, like selling stuff, like you could just like drop ship anything from China, and like
Right.
taking Walmart and Target out or stuff like that.
And it's crazy. Like, we as artists have more access to our fans.
Yeah.
Way more access. It's crazy.
Yeah, true. Can't take that for granted.
No, exactly.
We could just talk anytime.
No, it's weird. Yeah, it's like you can just go live. And I think about this all the time. It's just like, I'll go live and random people that I've never met in my life will just pop in. Like, hey, what's up? I love your shit. It's crazy.
Really? You don't recognize them, but they already knew about you, or they're just like hopping on your live?
No, just like people, like just anybody, like all my fans, even yours. Like, I'd imagine most of them you've never met in person. Most of them aren't your like daily friends. You know what I mean? Like active, close circle people. They're like random people on the internet that somehow stumbled on your page, whether it was from your DM or their friend telling them, and then they come into this fucking group, and now you go live, and then they all come into this group together. It's just fucking weird.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and it's amazing that like I love the idea of community where it's like they can bond with each other too. It's just like, here, like I'll put on the live and I'll be here, but also it's like about you guys just talking to each other, or like like getting to know each other.
No, exactly, because I see your Discord and all your fans are like, it's not, you don't even have to say shit. You don't even have to be involved. They're talking to each other, following each other, liking each other's stuff, and it's just crazy how that works.
Definitely, yeah. It's because like we want to go live more often, or we want to be there, but like we have to deal with like every possible task that like a record label in the past would have done. So there's just like, so it's like, how do we can't ever fit it in, so they got to have a community there to like, okay, like we're always going to be here,
Right. So you just dropped a brand new song called Talk Therapy. Talk a little bit about that. What was your inspiration around that? Why did you put that out instead of the other song?
I put that one out because I guess they chose that song, so it was between that and Rain Dogs.
What do you mean?
I put out two the cover art for both of those songs, and just said, here, you guys pick which one. And I kind of always like have a guess about like what they're gonna pick. So yeah, they picked Talk Therapy, and then that one was just written. Those lyrics were written like the day of the Paranoia on Main Street release. So it's just, as you know, just how this business or this route can be like, we got to always fight discouragement and like disappointments, and we got to like keep on fighting through that. So that's what that was just about, like just like a vent of being like, holy, like I'm getting the fears again, oh my god. So yeah, that was that. And then like the music was just, I was trying to make something that was like super short and poppy, not pop, like not pop rock, but just something that like kind of smacks you in the face, and it's really short, and it's meant for Spotify, and like I can kind of see what people click on, or like what people tend to listen to most. For some reason, it's like the songs that make you feel cool, and they're a little more serious. It's not really like my happier songs like don't do as well. So yeah.
No, for sure. I get that. It's like people, when they listen to a song, like they do want to feel cool. Like I listen to a lot of Russian hard bass at this point in my life for some reason. And it's like, I don't know what they're even saying. I don't know what the words are. Have no clue. But the fucking shit makes me feel so good. It's so cool. And I'm like dancing around, having a good time. But like,
God.
it's just crazy when you listen to something you really love, you can just like, you feel cool when you listen to it, like what you were saying. And when people hear your song, they're like, dude, I can really relate to this. So then it's like that song, they'll just keep repeating and repeating and repeating.
That's what was that? You said Russian hard bass?
Yeah, I don't know if that's actually what it's called. I think it is. It's Russian. It's like kind of like EDM, but it's not. No, it's not. It's not EDM. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. I'll send you some whenever we get off here, and you can check it out.
Yeah,
But
that
they
sounds
call
good.
it Russian hard bass, I think. And yeah, I don't know what they're saying ever, but I listen to it and I'm like, damn, I feel fucking cool when I listen to this.
All right, I definitely want to check that out.
Yeah, no, for sure. And I feel like some people don't have that, like that cool feeling. You know what I mean? Like when you play a song, you just don't feel anything. You're just like, I mean, it is a song. It does have
Yeah.
words and it has a verse and chorus, but like I'm bored.
Yeah,
I think that's one thing that you don't have to have that. You don't have that problem. Every song I've heard by you, I'm like, holy fuck, this is a different type of badass song. Like Talk
Oh,
Therapy, I don't want to say it reminded me of 21 Pilots, but to a degree I was getting that vibe, but it was like a Demi the Daredevil vibe. You know what I mean? It's not
dang.
21 Pilots, but it reminded me of that for some reason. When I listened to the song, I was like, dang, this song is fucking badass. But it's also not like a big song where you've got like a million different instruments going and it's all like bang, bang, bang in the speakers. It's like pretty toned down song, but it's a badass song.
Yeah, yep. Dude, yeah, thanks. Thank
That
you.
did
very
you produce
much.
all that
Yeah,
yourself?
Yep. Yeah, I sent it off to the guy, this guy Austin Bello, and he plays guitar in Forever the Sickest Kids, and so he's a really good mixer. But he mixed it, and I think I don't know if he messed with anything. He kind of just made it sound good because I can't. I just am stumped when it comes to like, okay, how do you actually make something sound like commercially? You know, like Kevin, who you work with, like you guys do a killer job with like making it sound like pro. So yeah, that's what he did. He just like made all the parts sound compressed and EQ'd and spaced it out, and that's I need to learn how to like carve frequencies and whatever you need to do to make it pop like you hear all the parts.
Right. I don't know either. I'm having the same issue. I bought a new program called Cubase. That's what Kevin uses. I was like,
Really?
I was like,
Cubase. Cool.
yeah, I was like, all right, I'll fucking use Cubase and I'll figure it out. But like my biggest problem is like the peaking of things. Like when I play something, if I turn it up to the point where it should sound like on Spotify or something, it's peaking so bad. And I don't know how to make it not peak, but also be loud. And like you said, with the spacing of the stuff where things get spaced out, I don't know how to do that. I don't know what should go over here, what should go over here, what should be doubled, what should be not,
Right. Right. There's this thing. I'll send it to you. It's like a free LUFS meter. I don't know if that's the right terminology for it, but basically,
a Lux meter.
Yeah, yeah. So it's like that. You like run that plug-in, and then you try to like get it in the -9 to 12.
Mm-hmm.
You have I don't even know, but I'm told to keep it in a certain range. But then when I hear, but I still, it's like I want to understand the science of it because like when I drag in like Imagine Dragons or 21 Pilots or band, like they're all different, like their levels. Like sometimes one, I forgot what song it was, but it was just like peaking like crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm like, wait, is everything just like loud as hell now? But at the same time, they're saying that Spotify just caps you at a certain point anyway. So you don't want to you don't want to make it distorted. So I don't know. Yeah, got to learn about that.
That shit confuses me, man, because I know it's exactly what you mean. Like I'll take something straight off of like my MP3, like a band, like another band. I'll just like Angels and Airwaves, bam. I'll pop it into the Garage Band or whatever, and it's peaking. And I'm like, I know when you recorded that, it's not peaking. And I know when you sent it off to the place that you uploaded it to, it wasn't peaking. So why is it peaking on my end? I don't know. It's so weird. I think it's like a mastering thing that I don't know how to do.
It could be a mastering thing, and when you told me that, it made me think that it could be the master fader on in the software where it's just like needs to be at 0, or yeah, but I don't know if it's just one single wave. Then there's got to be just a sweet spot on every single track. Like, okay, you got to put it, every track has to be like brought down a little bit. So like the kick, as loud as you want it, you still got to put it like -5 instead of 0 or something like that. I don't know, just something about the track, the faders and the master fader.
Right. Music is freaking annoying. It's not annoying, but like that's why I pay somebody to do it. I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna save all my headache and just have you do it.
I know. Yeah, I was listening to a 1975 podcast talking about their production today, and it made me look at it differently. To where they're just like, oh well, this guy does all the production. None of us touch it. It would drive us crazy. I do like the melodies and stuff. This guy, he does all the logistics of the live setup, like to where it's like, and the guy who produces everything and understands how it works is still like, oh yeah, I would kill myself if I had to do that. So it's like every person has their role, which is another reason, like why partnerships, I feel like at this point and what I'm doing, I feel like it's necessary to like keep growing our network of like partnerships, and be like, okay, I'm gonna need to delegate that, and I'll do this part, you do this part. But then we're solo artists, so it's just a whole different story, because at this point we can't go back and have bandmates. So
right.
gotta be
and it's like you said, you can't continue growing alone, really. Like at first when you're starting off, there's no need for anybody, really. I mean, you don't have anything to do. You don't have, anything. So it's like you have to do something to get something going. So there's a point for a team. Like when you first start a band, you don't need a manager. What are they going to manage? There's nothing to manage. But now at this point, even with both of us, it's like we have so much going on, and we have to do music videos, the songs, live shows, streams, content, all this shit. And we can't do every single piece of all of it. That would fucking drive us crazy, and we'd have no time for anything.
Yep, absolutely. And even like then like on the business side, it's like publishing, sync, booking agents, PR, marketing, like all the retargeting strategies. It's just like, and it's just all that whole system. It's just like, if you have a major label, you can see why they're set up to win, because they have like this, everything is aligned right. And with us, we're just like, pew, like just like tiny lasers trying to make it work. So yeah, but what I am noticing is that it's like I feel like we're around the same age, but like when I was starting, you depended on like an A&R person to like seek you out and discover you. And then at a certain point, maybe like 5, 6, 7 years ago, then it started changing towards like, okay, it's a free for all, it's a Wild West. You have to, you're in it for yourself. You got to just run your own business. And then now, maybe I never noticed it, but I'm seeing that there's like different there's companies out there that are like it's like record labels but revamped in a new way, where it's like, okay, you might have to piece together these component departments, but it's like I've seen like a sync licensing company also do radio plugging and PR. So it's like that just kills 3 birds with 1 stone, and you just make a deal with them. So yeah, I think that we're just at I don't know, like we got to be easy on ourselves. So I'm telling myself to not be, like I see myself as a late bloomer, but at the same time, there's also like we were in a flux. Like the time, like I still believe college was necessary, so like wasted a lot of time there, and like yeah, just we're in that transition, and now things are changing, and I feel like we'll probably see easier opportunities if we just keep our eye out.
Right. And I think one thing you were saying is like there's so many things out there that you could do that you don't need a label for, and labels are kind of, I wouldn't say downsizing, but outsourcing in a way where they're coming up with, like you said, smaller companies that can help artists that aren't the actual label, like the PR companies or these companies. And the only problem I have with certain things like that is like my logic is like, if everybody can do it, I don't want to do it. Like if anybody can pay this guy to promote their music, I don't want to do that, because he will do it for anybody. You know what I mean? I want a guy that's stoked about my shit, that's actually going to work hard on it, not for the money per se, because obviously they need money, but for the growth and for the building of whatever that is.
I agree, because that's like they're taking a risk like any other company, taking a risk and a gamble, but if they believe in it, then they're going to be motivated from a different place. And so it's just going to be I mean, I always hear that. I always hear people when they're giving advice, they're just like, if you find a manager, like the good ones won't they don't charge anything up front. Like he just
Right.
the good ones do not charge you up front, and so that's like a whole different. And I see a lot of that. Like a lot, I feel like I'm being attacked by people who want to charge me their services for this or that business thing, and then it's just like way harder to find people who are investing that. But like we just got to find music fans who do not play guitar or like they don't sing. You know that's not their thing, but they really are music fans. They're as obsessed as we are, you know, about this project as they are about the business, you know.
Right. Like that's why I work with the video guy. I work with quite a bit. Casey. He did my "I'll Be Just Fine" video, the "We Are the Angry" video,
Oh yeah, yeah,
the winter
yeah.
videos. He's done a lot of my videos.
Oh, I
But
didn't know it
like
was the same guy throughout. Yeah, ever since you
for quite some time now. Yeah.
yeah, that's awesome.
Several years. But I mean, I've worked with other video people on certain things, like Strawberry. I did with other people and some other shit. But him and I are doing another video tomorrow. But like you were saying, he doesn't want money up front. Like he does. Like at first, when we first worked together, I mean, we like knew each other from mutual friends, but it wasn't like we were good friends or anything. So it was like, yeah, man, you know, you could pay this much money up front, then we'll get going, whatever. But now it's like he doesn't give a fuck. I recorded
Great.
music videos with him in December, and I legit didn't even have enough money to pay him until 2 days ago. And
Yeah.
yeah, it was like 6 months, and he never once even texted me like, "Hey, man, where's my money?" He knew it was cool because he likes doing the videos. I love him doing the videos, and I think he really thinks that this could go somewhere.
Yep.
So he's like, "Okay, I'm down to work with it because I think it's good. I believe in what you're doing, and I'm down to do it." And I love having those people involved. And it's not that I want to use them. I just, because it feels weird when you want to work with people and also don't want to pay them
Yeah, totally. I
because
think
it feels like using them.
yeah, yeah, and like something that I'm not like great about, but like all these people throughout the adventure that have worked for free, like I've just learned that it's almost better. It's better to like have some kind of agreement, or if they're gonna be something saying like if X happens, then this is what will happen, or like some kind of security. Because I've noticed that as much as we want to think that people are like, oh, like it's all good, like I'll just we don't have to put well, let's just your word is as good as stone, but I feel like we gotta like put something in writing to actually solidify, just as you would hand someone a check. Like there has to
Hmm.
be something concrete. I haven't done it yet, but I'm realizing that like that it has to be it.
Yeah, it's funny you say that because we talked on the phone a few days ago or a week ago, whenever, and I was telling you about that video guy that have recently fucked me around, a couple of them. But I was just thinking the same thing. I'm thinking I've never had a contract with anybody during Purple Hearts because I'm like, I don't need one, whatever. It's like word of mouth, not word of mouth. It's just whatever the hell.
Like yeah, you
Your
guys
word.
your word, yeah,
Yeah.
it's
And
promise.
word isn't very fucking useful anymore. It's
Yeah,
like
I
people
know.
are pieces of shit and they will fuck you over. They don't
I know.
care.
Yeah,
They're like, you're not fucking Lil Peep, so go fuck yourself, you know?
dude,
So
it's
I'm
just
like,
ruthless. Most people I meet, like as I see in the music business specifically, like bands, musicians, like I want to find the balance of not being ruthless, but also we have to like consider strategically with our decisions. But then I've noticed that people are just straight up ruthless. Like they'll screw anybody over, and that's just the norm. And nobody knows that's not the persona they're selling.
right. That's the thing. Like, I could call this guy out on Instagram right now, and everybody be like, damn, fuck that guy. But like, for one, nobody knows right now. Nobody knows that these people are fucky. Nobody knows. Nobody cares. And even if I did like call him out on Instagram, yo, this guy did this and this and this, tomorrow nobody would remember. And it's not like he's sharing it on his page, so it's not like anybody knows. So people continue working with this people. It's like
Yeah,
fuck. I hate it. I hate the industry, but you got to do it.
I know. Yep. I feel
Certain headaches you have to deal with, and it sucks.
yeah, yeah, definitely. Like, and as we go forward, I guess the goal is just to do less and less of what we are not good at, and then focus on what we can do better.
Exactly.
We're both active in communicating or connecting with whoever's relating to our lyrics. So I mean, that's where I feel like one strong point we both share, or like it's not, yeah, it's a strong point because it's real. Like, because I've gotten that feedback from other bands who are just like, oh yeah, like I admire that you're like genuinely care about your fans, and for me, it's just like, well, there's no other purpose besides like we're all in this together, and I could tell you do too. That's why I'm bringing it up. Like, I could tell you genuinely care that we're all like, because we come from, I don't know, it's just like mental instability, or like just actually having to go through some real shit, and like, being more disturbed because we're more sensitive people. Like, that's a whole another animal that like you got to deal with in life, like a certain kind of person. So I'm very compassionate towards people that go through that too.
No, hell, I feel it. And just like you said, there's no other reason to be doing this except for the people. It's like, yeah, I do it for myself more than I do it for anybody. But the people that are listening and following and commenting and liking, it's like, I do it for you
Yeah,
more than anybody else outside of
more than
myself.
anything else. Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
I don't care about the haters. I just delete comments that are like, fuck, this is gay. I'm like, delete. I don't care about that bullshit. Like, fuck off. I don't care. All I
Yeah.
care about are the people that love it and care. And it's not like I can't take criticism, but people saying this is fucking sucky is not criticizing anything. That's just being a dick.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you really came to my video to hate, It's like, it's a
right.
music video. I'm not like doing some crazy controversial shit where it's like, all right, you could be a dick to me. I'm just putting out music that's emotional and you're like, fuck this.
Yeah, right.
But I don't do it for those people. People listen to those people too. And I'm sure you see it, like celebrities and big artists. Like, you'll have all these comments on their page. They're like, yo, man, I love this song. Yo, I love this video. You're a real inspiration. But then that one hate comment will come through and it's be like, you suck. And then the guy, whoever, will respond to that. Like, why are you responding to that?
I know, you're right. Yeah.
Like,
That's
fuck
very
that guy. Block him, move on, respond
Yeah.
to all those other people that actually give a fuck about you.
I know, I know. That's very so true. Yeah, it's like you're not like taking in the support that you actually have.
Right. So I just kind of, push that aside. I'm like, fuck you.
Yeah. Good.
What was I fucking gonna say? Oh no, back to what we were saying. Yeah, somebody commented on my Instagram or YouTube the other day and said something like, yo, it's been a couple of years since I saw your music, but it looks like you're still doing it. And it looks like you're still connecting with your fans. And that's so cool that you actually care about these comments and this and that. And it's like, yeah, we notice it, but they notice it way more than we do. Like, even with me, when I'll comment on like a big page that I really, really like a news page or a YouTuber or a music guy, and I'll comment on their page, if they respond to me, I'm fucking hyped. Like, damn, they actually looked at my comment and responded to me. Even though it doesn't matter, I'm like, damn, that's so cool that they responded to me.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I know it's weird being like in that position, because it's like it's always like a chase, or it's always like you're always like have somebody on a pedestal, and then when they respond to you, and then it's just weird being in that position where it's like, wait, what? I feel like I'm just a loser that's just like making music in the shed. But it's still cool to a lot of people. Like, what we're doing does mean something. Gotta always remember that.
It is really weird. It's like, do you ever sit back and think, like, I don't want to put this off in like an egotistical way, but like, do you sit back and think like, holy fuck, I have power? Like, not real power, but like, you have the power to change lives,
Mhm.
like seriously change them for the better. Doesn't that feel weird? Like, do you feel like that?
I'm trying to like tap into that feeling. Like, yeah, it does come down to like if people are like, hey, I was gonna kill. Like, I haven't gotten a lot, but I definitely have gotten a decent share of people saying I was gonna kill myself, and I put this song on, and like that saved me. So part of me feels like, I think you're not telling me the truth. Or you're just saying that, and that's just what you have to say. But yeah, I think that is real, and it's hard to even wrap my head around. It's just like, how? Yeah, we have like with the word, and then with the music. But I feel like it's more so the word. I feel like that's really what people understand the most, or what helps the most.
Right.
Yeah.
They'll go on and see a real person talking about real stuff and singing about real stuff. Like, dang, this guy's actually real. He relates to me. And
Yeah.
like you said, it's so weird that you can't even accept that you could change your life. Like somebody said, yo, I was going to kill myself. I played your song and I didn't. I've had the same thing, not often, like maybe twice or 3 times,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm like, there's no way you're telling me the truth. You've got to
Mm-hmm.
be lying. Like it just seems like that. I don't want to be rude to those people that are feeling that way, but it's like that's what it feels like to me personally. And you, it's like,
Yeah.
are you lying to me? Because there's
Yeah.
no way I, a guy in Missouri that nobody gives a fuck about, has the power to save somebody's life on with my music. That sounds crazy.
I know.
Like
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, I agree. Well, we'll take, yeah, but if I do, I am seeing, I mean, I'm making that connection now where you talking about this, and like recently I'm like, whatever happens, regardless of how this thing pans out, like I'm going to die saying that my mission is to like help the youth feel less ashamed, and and shame leads to that, the self-hate and suicide, and there could be other reasons for suicide, of course, but it's just kind of like thinking that that's what I'm going to die doing, because that's what we're born to do.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's, no one could take that away from us, because that's who we are.
Exactly. And when
Yeah.
you're growing up and you go through that bullshit, and then you get older and you can see it so fucking clearly, much differently
Yeah,
than you were when you were a kid or a teenager or even in your
totally.
early 20s, you see it so much differently. You're like, damn, that's crazy. Then you can convey that message to the younger people in a better way that maybe their parents, if they even have parents,
Right.
are conveying to them. Because I mean, I'm sure you see it, but parents are not good. Some
I
parents
know.
are fucking bad, and a lot of them are just ruining their children's lives and their mental state and everything.
Right. And that's why I like your stuff, and like I relate to you. I think I don't know if you, how much you've talked about your personal background story on the podcast, but I know that like I relate to you in that we're coming from a place of having like overcome so much with parenting in the back. Like I'm from lower middle class, like a lot of violence and broken home, divorce, and just a lot of stuff that's, and like being programmed, like it's all about, so you have other bands who are like speaking for those people with broken homes, but they really do come from like really fortunate circumstances, and they're kind of like, that's like the way that the music industry is like the survival of the fittest is supporting those people with like upper middle class. Like this is my opinion, like it's like there's a lot of people with like positive circumstances. Almost every person that I've seen, they've all come from either entertainment backgrounds, or they came with more money, or they came with like having like not religious but like good spiritual homes that like they stuck with, or the parents taught them how to like plan ahead and reflect and like be intentional, and like what decisions do you need to make. Like if you didn't learn that, then like you're slowed down, but that's all I'm saying in short. I feel like you and I have overcome a lot, and like that's awesome. Like I want to represent like someone who actually did go through it, and not just empathizing with it.
No, exactly. And I'm gonna wrap this up in just 1 second. But
Yeah, for
no,
sure.
it's really weird with like bands, like big bands. You can't relate to certain bands because, like you said, they're basically faking it. Like, not faking it, but like, yeah, Silver Spoon grew up in a nice house, suburban neighborhood, no real problems, had both parents at home, like, and then they want to go around talking about like, I'm so depressed about my home life. It's like, dude,
I know, that's it, and nobody notices that, and like that really bothered. I mean, it's really it was hard for a while to see it, but yeah, I think that's just the what everyone cares about is like, did you give me hope, and did you make me feel something? And they don't. It doesn't seem like many people care about like what the background is, or if they're a fan of something, they'll defend it to the bitter end. Like you got Michael Jackson fans, they're gonna die just saying like, absolutely not, like none of that is true. But either or, yeah, exactly, like they're kind of actors. Like these people are like the same way someone will play a role of somebody else's screenplay, like Zendaya in what's that TV show on HBO, god dang it, Euphoria. But she comes from a Disney background, a really good background, and she's playing a character that the screenwriter wrote who actually is messed up in the head. Like you could tell he's like shaking, and like it's just physical things, so you could always just tell. I don't know, but nobody really notices.
no, we
Whatever. Just
we
gonna
talk.
focus on the positive.
No, I try to do the same thing, but I get so wrapped up in this bullshit. But like we've talked about this before, but like the 13 reasons why stuff, where
Oh,
they
exactly.
they
Yeah.
almost fetishize being sad and depressed.
Yeah.
They almost make it like a turn on, like, oh, you're sad, I'm so horny. Like, what?
Yeah, like make it right, exactly. And like even I know we'll wrap up after this, but that like I won't mention the band name, but you know, they responded to that being, you know, fetishizing the mental illness, but coming from a place of not understanding real mental illness and like how you can be suicidal and kill yourself even if every circumstance is positive in your life. It really doesn't matter, like that kind of mental imbalance, and kind of like coming in and saying, like, it turns into what you call ableism, where you're just like, hey, like, you know, what we should celebrate are the people who are dedicated to life, who are not trying to get attention, and like, you know, who are just being, their characters are great, and like it's all about like character, like how strong is your character, are you dedicated, are you moral, are you honest, like that kind of stuff. Like I don't know if that makes sense, but it's basically just a misconception where it's just like, but you're missing the point again too. It's like it's not supposed to be glamorized, and it's also not something that you shouldn't just say like, yeah, well, you know, it's not real, you're just trying to get attention. Like maybe you want to be famous, I have no clue why you wanted to kill yourself, but it's like, well, that gives yourself away. Like you don't understand the kind of like when you're born with a chemical imbalance with like more aggression than average, combine that with lack of serotonin, literally chemicals in your brain, it's physical, and people don't understand that. I don't know, I feel like, yeah.
Right. And it's like kind of fucked up. It's like, I don't understand what they're going through. It's like, even if you have a silver spoon in your mouth and you come from a suburban neighborhood and went to the best schools and went to Harvard, you got 2 parents, you could still be fucked up.
Yeah.
It's fucking weird. You can still be fucked up. I mean, it's like, I don't want to bring in politics, and we're going to wrap up on this end thing. I don't want to bring up politics at all. I really don't. But with Hunter Biden, the dude is a straight up crackhead. Your daddy is a vice president. You are one of the most powerful people in the world, right? I mean, obviously he doesn't have power, but his dad is the vice president. His dad was a senator. He's
plugged in to
right. He's a
care of.
White suburban kid with rich parents and everything handed to him, and he's still a fucking crackhead. Like he, not because he's a perfect person. Obviously, I'm not making fun of him because he's a crackhead, but it's like, no matter how much you fucking get, you can still be fucked up.
True.
Which is what I try not to hate on people, but it's also like what we're saying. I see it. It's like they're glamorizing being fucked up.
Yeah, totally. Well, it's a complicated subject, but we did tap into both of those aspects. I'm glad we did.
Yeah, me too. And if you're listening to this, I apologize. We're going to have to break this podcast up into 2 parts. I had some technical difficulties on my end when we first started. So this is the first part. If you want the second part, it's going to be on a different video. But for now, this is the first part, and we're going to wrap this thing up. I hope you guys enjoyed listening to Jeff and I talk for about 30 minutes, and I'm going to bring it back on at a different time, and we're going to do another part. And yeah, so that's it. Thanks so much for sticking around, guys, for the podcast. Jeff, is there anything you want to say and wrap this thing up with?
No, guys, stay strong and stay positive. And well, Mario and I, yeah, we're still in this. We're still like working our ass off every day for you guys and for ourselves, of course. But yeah, we just want to say hello.
All day, every day. I'm doing it for everybody but the fucking system. That's what I'm doing. So
yeah.
Thanks, Jeff, for coming on. Thanks, people, for listening or watching, whichever you're doing. And I hope you have a great night. Thanks again. Peace out.
But do you have a real job?